Emma, not the result you wanted today, but overall you must be pleased with the matches you got here heading into Wimbledon.
Yeah, I'm pleased to have had 3 matches. I think it builds towards my match fitness. It builds towards my bank of experience playing in all sorts of conditions, I would say. I think today especially it was very difficult and I just didn't handle it very well. And I'd say, yeah, I think I just need to learn to be more willing to adapt. But yeah, I'd say I haven't really played many matches in that level of wind. And yeah, Daria actually plays really good in those conditions because she makes it very awkward for the opponent, and I just think she handled it a lot better.
Are those the worst conditions you've played in? You should never play in Eastbourne.
No, I haven't played in Eastbourne. There was one day in practice at Indian Wells where it was similar, but it wasn't in the match, so it didn't really matter as much. But I'd say it was up there with like the worst I've played in, especially on the tour. Like maybe back in the junior days, like I played in a similar level of wind, but very rarely, and also a different level of opposition.
Obviously, we just talked about the wind. Were there different sort of plans that you had to try and deal with the wind, different ways to hit through it? And how did that change as the match progressed?
Yeah, I think like my plan was, I guess, to play my kind of identity of tennis, which is aggressive, which is taking the ball early, and I play pretty clean tennis, I would say, which is why yesterday, it was a much better level of tennis because, yeah, conditions suited it better. It was just more clean ball striking, and today it was complete opposite. It was more about, the scrappy little shots that are dying, the high heavy, the variation, and especially, the slower you actually hit the ball today, the more difficult it was to deal with because it would just hold in the air and move and cut with all the spin. And I think Dara's very experienced and just did that to me, and I didn't want to do it back, basically. And I think that if I was more experienced or had practiced actually playing it like that in practice, then maybe I could have implemented like a similar thing. But it was just a tough matchup for the day.
I just saw an Instagram post about taking the positives. You've mentioned a couple of them, but just a few more of the positives that you're taking from this week heading into Wimbledon.
Yeah, I think I put some good level out again, and just to be able to back up a week like Nottingham, obviously I'm very happy with. And I think the biggest win for me is I was able to play, okay, 3 matches back to back today. Physically, I actually felt fine. It wasn't to do with, anything being in pain, and 3 high level matches. And also yesterday, the match was close to 3 hours, plus the warm up before. I played almost 4 hours on court, and this morning pulled up completely fine, which is, I was surprised about it. So that has to be a huge win, and that's a big positive. And then I spoke a little bit yesterday, just overcoming some things, and I did that. And yeah, have just been really enjoying my tennis, which is what I said at the start of the week. And the fact that, today hasn't really dented my confidence at all, or my approach or mentality is a massive win for me.
And if there's one word to describe the grass court season that you've had, what would it be?
I would say resilient is my word that I always pick, just because I just keep finding myself coming back to it, overcoming challenges, and yeah, resilient.
Thanks.
You've touched on it a little bit already, but mentally, how are you feeling approaching Wimbledon?
I feel good. I think I should be very confident, and I feel like I have every right to be in the position that I am now because I've been training, I've been working for it. I think that, losing today means I get a day off tomorrow and then get to train at Wimbledon. So you have to just spin everything to be a positive, and for me, that's how I'm going to spin it right now. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm very happy to be back in London. It's where I call home. It's where I missed last year so much, and spoke a little bit about the feeling of going to Wimbledon last year at the commitments and just wanting to do everything to be on the other side of the playing. And I think that's going to be a very important feeling for me to remember next week.
Part of the on the commentary suggested that you may have been a bit tired after your previous matches here, but what you've just said would seem to disagree with that. So are you happy with your fitness levels?
Yeah, I wasn't tired at all. I was feeling really good. I think I just dealt with the circumstances badly, and was very inflexible in my approach. So that's my honest reflection of the match. But physically, I'm in a really good spot, and I could easily go and train now. I'll train tomorrow. I'm fine.
Diana, but a great week. In terms of just the adjustment or the challenge of adjusting today, what do you think you could have done, I suppose, in terms of plan B? And do you have confidence in a potential plan B, plan C? Or in that moment, are you thinking it's plan A, that's my best way here? It can be a tough decision to make in the match.
Yeah, I think I always want to live and die by my strike, and that's got me quite far in other situations, like yesterday, for example. But then I think there are some extreme scenarios like today where you can't, I think today was one of those where I maybe, if I had the confidence in it to just chip some back, scrape some back, throw some up high, be a little bit more patient in the rallies, not trying to hit the ball very close to the line because the wind would take it out. And I think just, not trying to play as so well and just accepting you're not going to feel good out there. You're not going to feel like you're playing good tennis. And just being less stubborn. I thought I was very stubborn in the wrong way and out there. And stubborn is one of my character traits. And sometimes it works for me, but sometimes it works against me. So I think that's just part of me maturing as a tennis player too.